the horse can do. If he says the horse can do, can do, can do.
I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it if it's 10, he wins it by a half. According to this here in the telegram.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner here from the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike, he's Drew. We're going to go through the 8 Saturday races here at Hastings, and we're going to touch on the Belmont as well. Of course, it is a big day at Belmont, New York.
Really exciting day for, of course, in New York and of course here at Hastings. A huge day, probably one of the biggest days ever at Hastings. Everybody coming out to cheer on Mario, looking to capture that elusive third leg of the Triple Crown.
1978, been a while. Affirmed did it. They did it back-to-back years. Seattle saluted it in 77 and then Affirmed in 78.
Three in the 70s and
nobody.
Clean slate since then. So really exciting times here, and we all know everybody is.
So come on out and watch history either here at the Derby Bar and Grill or of course at Hastings. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully the weatherman contributes and gets a little break in the clouds and makes it a little more comfortable. All right, 8 races on Saturday here at Hastings. So let's go to the first.
Kick off to the first day. Fillies and Mares, non-2, BC bred non-3 for $7,500, and I've gone to the 5 Valentine's Wish. Filly that was running in the 17.5 end of this condition. She drops down to the 7,500 condition. Gets some weight off with Marlowe. She's doing with 109. She's had some time off. Hasn't ran in about a month. I think all signs kind of point to her, so I have her on top. Second spot, I have McGuire's Bridge, another closer in here out of the Dave Forrester barn. She ran second last time, got moved up. That race, Dream in the Dark, got disqualified. Scopa won it. Scopa came back and won for open 7,500, so that kind of flatters McGuire's Bridge. I got her in second spot. And third spot, I went with Tigress Lily, mare out of the Taylor Anderson barn that's been really knocking on the door in these races. She could definitely be in second or third spot in here, kind of pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I don't think the distance change will hurt Tiger Silly either. The one time she tried it last year, she did break her maiden by 6 lengths, so perhaps that's what she needs. I've gone to the 2, though. I like McGuire's Bridge. I think the stretch out will definitely help the daughter of Include. She was traveling well at the end of it. Got a little too far out of it last time, I thought. They didn't really stop the last part of it, and she did encounter some trouble at the 8th bowl. And when Tiger Silly did check, kind of deflected.
A lot of action there,
kind of a chain reaction. And McGuire's Bridge got a bit of it, but not a ton of it. But definitely changed her action a bit. So, but I just think she wants the route. I think she's going to really excel at this distance change. I wouldn't be surprised at this level to see her closer to the pace as well. I don't expect her to be way far back in here. So I like McGuire's Bridge. I put Tiger Silly in for second, and I agree with the 5 Valentine's Wish. I put her in for third. Whichever one kind of, I don't know, between Valentine's Wish and McGuire's Bridge, whichever one decides to maybe show a little bit more speed and get in position may win the race. Because if they keep drifting back and letting, maybe then Tiger Silly will win. She'll get away with some.
It's a short field too, so you don't want to get too far out of it. Let somebody alone on the lead.
But I went 2, 4, and 5. I agree with Drew. Those are the 3, but I went to McGuire's Bridge to win it. On to the second race. Got some fillies and mares in here, non-winners of the year. 6.5 furlongs will be the trip. I've gone to the 3-horse Perfect Hostess. I was kind of torn between the 3 and the 1-horse Golden Ratio, but I did go to Perfect Hostess. I don't hope she's not going to be kind of a sucker horse. She keeps getting pressured on the pace and keeps getting beaten, but at least she had. Both times she's had the winner lap rate on her. Lino Vision 2 starts back, and last time it was my bailout that was just looking her in the eye. But she did stay for second this time, and each start I'm sure she's going to get better. I put the Golden Ratio in for second, a filly that really got good down in Phoenix for Robbie Anderson. She's worked well. Definitely noticed, looking at her form, the women riders seem to get along well with her. You looked at Abigail Von Rosen last time. Vicky Bays win one. Laurie Keith, Marnie, and Marlowe.
Back to Marlowe.
I know, it's like continuous fillies on this filly. And Marlowe down aboard, and I like the work on May the 26th in a minute flat. Definitely signaling she's back after a brief freshening. So I like her, and I put the 4-horse Mass Flora, also out of the Robbie Anderson barn, in for third. Class relief for her. She's been running in a Lino Vision. Going to get away from her and get into an easier spot. But I went 3, 1, and 4.
I'm pretty close. I agree with the 3. If she gets any kind of a break in this,
Looks like she's going to get the lead.
Yeah, she's going to get the lead. But if anybody, she doesn't get pressured too hard, gets any kind of a breather in here, I think that she's a winner for fun. I did put Mass Flora in for second. I have that into the Robbie Anderson of his two in here. I sided with Mass Flora in the second spot for the reasons you just mentioned, those line of vision races. And in the third spot, I put Our Dubai Girl in. Hard knocking old mare. She just keeps picking up the pieces. She won one earlier. She's got a second and third already this year. She's just kind of hard knocker. She's going to be probably just off the pace, and she'll just kind of travel around there. I can see her, picking up the pieces.
She's in good form. She's sharp.
She is in good
form. Those mares that are in good form. She routed last time, but that's not her game. She's back in sprinting. She might scare him again.
Make a little more noise in there.
But I know we both agree on Perfect Hostess in the second.
And on to the third day. This is 3-year-olds and up. The boys and non-winners of the year for 3,000. And a little bit of a flyer here. I went with the 1 Guns and Gold. This one's going long, and last race, the one that was won last week by Bosco's Quick, who got on the lead and just rolled the whole way. Guns and Gold was just absolutely flying late. And as he galloped out in the turn, he galloped out in front. He ended up third that day, sorry, beating 6 lengths, but he was moving that quickly that by the turn he was in front. So I think with that kind of move going long, I like his chances. I think he's got a big shot in here. In the second spot, I went with Great Prince, the other Harold Barrowby horse. He maybe has a bit more of a class edge. I don't know if he's as sharp right now as Guns and Gold, but he's going to be pretty tough in here. He ran against Rive, Woomboom Express. Those horses last time just got beat 3.5 lengths, so he fits pretty nicely into here. And the third spot, I have Sufi Dancer, a horse that hasn't run since the 21st of April. That's kind of my knock against him. He got on the eligibles one day. I don't know if now he goes long. I don't know if fitness will play any issue at all. Monica Russell can have them ready. But that's the only thing that kind of turned me off of him a little bit was it's been quite a while since he ran. So I got him in third spot.
Yeah, I like the. I'm going to go to Sufi Dancer. Not a strong pick, but I did go to him. Blinkers off. New distance for him as well. He still has to prove he can go a mile and a 16th. There's others in here that have proven that they can tackle this distance. But Amadeo Perez aboard. That's a big plus. You're right. The horse has been scratched a couple times. Didn't draw in one day, and another time was in and was scratched, and not too sure what happened there. But the horse does have a couple of works, so 101 and 3 there on May the 27th. Followed up 9 days later by their 36 there on June the 5th. A little blowout earlier this week. So I'm going to try Sufi Dancer. I think the distance won't hurt, but it's kind of strange. 19 career starts, never gone long before, so we'll see if Sufi Dancer can do well. I put Great Prince in for second. Cool old horse. Got his couple of sprints in, ran a lot better last time. He loves the wet tracks too. This horse really moves up on the wet tracks, and he's going to likely get it. So you got to keep your eye on Great Prince. He's the logical play in here. He's the one that's shown he likes long, he likes a distance of ground and wet tracks, and he's good at this level. So he is the logical horse, and Pedro suits him well. And I put the 7-horse Dueling Pistol, another horse stretching out, that's better going long. Might flash some speed too, because there's no speed in this race.
No, I see that.
This race is weak for speed. And Dueling Pistol, I know this horse isn't great speed going short, but you look at some of his races going long, this horse can flash some speed and might be able to get out there in a position. But tough race, didn't love anyone. No. I went 2, 5, and 7. On to the fourth race, we do have some conditional $4,000 claimers. Colts and Geldings, non-winners at 2 lifetime. 6.5 will be the trip. I'm going to try the 5-horse JJ's Traveler. It looks like the obvious choice. Just missed the Cat's Axe and a pretty good time. That was enough for me to side with him. Didn't see a whole lot else in here that was too enticing. I guess the 3 advantage to Skip wasn't disgraced in that race. Finished 3 lengths behind JJ's Traveler. But it was just his first start, as well as he had a 10-hole. He had a tough draw as well. So I think those are your 2 horses. I put Runaway Reggie in for third. Second run off the claim. They go back to the claim level after waiting out the jail term after a no-threat 6 to ice rule. So I'm going to go to JJ's Traveler, though, and Pacheco, and that's where I'm heading. Ryan Pacheco over Sean Evans on an advantage to Skip, 5-3-9.
I'm right with you. I got JJ's Traveler on top, advantage to Skip in second spot for the reasons you pointed out. They both come out of that Cat's Axe race. They look like the logical little piss. I put Steel Trick in for third, a horse that dropped down to his all-time career low here for maiden 3 and made it a winning one last time. Even though he had some traffic trouble kind of in the lane, he was kind of in behind horses, and finally she got him out off the rail, found a hole, he jumps through and wins it. So I think he can move up. He's could be an improving horse. He dropped down to that 3,000, made it a winning one. This is pretty kind of a lateral move just into the 4,000 non-2. So I think he fits in there. So I got him in third spot. So it's 5, 3, and 10 for me. And on to the fifth race, maiden 5,000s for 3-year-olds and up. And I went to the 6 Blood and Diamond. This was a horse that I think you...
Yeah, I picked him last time.
You had him on top last time, yeah.
Beat by a Gentleman Bend.
You got Gentleman Bend. You certainly did. They really kind of stuck it to you. But there was a great effort last time. That effort back, he's a winner. You know, if he can run that race back, I think that puts him in the winner's circle. So that's definitely one I think we'll probably both lean to here. The second spot, I put a first-time starter, the Craig McPherson barn, Cuomo. Kumo?
Let's go Kumo.
Kumo sounds good. Craig can have him ready, you know, 29% first-time starters. The thing that I don't really like, him and Amadeo Perez have a good percentage about it. The thing I don't really like, though, is the 11 hole. Is not the best scenario, going 6.5. Probably better actually going 6.5 here than any other distance because you get a good run of the turn. But just not great for a young horse, first start, to have the 11 hole. But we'll see. Maybe
got the page. Got the page on it. Got a champion out of a champion.
Yeah, exactly. The dance with the vixen. Yeah, totally.
Starts for 5 though. Go figure. That's why breeding is not an exact science.
It is not exactly.
It doesn't work all the time. You can breed champions to champions and still come up with.
Even Stormcat had his bums.
Yeah,
they all. That's right. So.
Secretariat.
But yeah, that's right. So, but I just think, you know, the connections, like you say, the breeding, everything kind of points that this horse for 5,000 should be in the mixer. So I have it in second, and in the third spot I have Frankie Barrby. As we mentioned, he's been red hot lately. This horse just got beat ahead last out for maiden 3. Switches to Amadeo Perez, leading rider here. Him and Frank Barrby, 26% together. Frankie's having a good year.
Great year.
Really good year. So I have that in third spot. So it's 6, 11, 10 for me.
A lot of numbers. I went 6. Yes. I went the 6. Blood and Diamond.
Yeah.
I agree.
Looks like the logical choice.
Unlucky to lose last time. Kind of got shuffled in behind a slow pace. Didn't get the best of trips. Got out late. Ran out of racetrack. Hopefully a better trip today. Maybe not so far back either. The 2-horse Wander About You and the 10 A Spark in the Dark. Both, I'm intrigued by both of them. They have some speed. I think Wander About You might be the upset type horse. Battled on the pace. It wasn't disgraced. Ended up 5th. Not beaten a long ways at long odds in that same Blood and Diamond race. And it was just his second race of the year. I think he's eligible to improve. Moves inside. Could be the inside speed, and if that's the way the track is playing, that's why you got to keep an eye on the first 4 races of the day and see how they're playing. If it's speed on the inside, well, hey, you don't need a brick to fall on your head to figure out
this could be your guy.
This could be your horse, and you want speed on the fence, and he looks like he could be the pace of the race. And I agree with your 10 horse, A Spark in the Dark, out of the Frank Barrby barn. This horse, good run last time to Steel Trick, a much improved effort, and it's just his first start of the year. He's another one eligible to improve, and I put your 11 Kumo in for 4th for the Superfectas, but I do like the 6 Blood and Diamond. I think that's our key in here. But I did go 6, 2, and 10 in the 5th. On to the 6th race, we do have some $7,500 claimers going a mile and a 16th here, kicking off your late pick 3. That 5th race did kick off the pick 4, by the way. I like the speedy number 1, Super Steven here. I love the way he finished his last sprint behind Charter Hill. Closing up ground beautifully. This horse finds a race without any speed in it. There's no speed in here.
No, everybody wants to close.
I've picked Kalukin Boss in One's Own Accord behind him, the 1-2, and neither one of those horses really have a ton of speed. One's Own Accord can flash some speed, but really showed that last time, and it cost him because he got caught by Quick. But I just envision the pace to be quite slow. And then whenever the pace is slow, Super Steve's going to be really tough. So I went 1, 2, 3.
I went back with Quick. Even though, as you just mentioned, that was a weird race last time. That One's Own Accord Quick race. It was kind of strange, but he did it really convincingly. He's a tough old horse. He's won 11 races out of 48. He loves, the longer they go, the better he gets. It's a mile and a 16th. He come right off the bench at a mile and a 16th. Win the first one out here that he ran here at Hastings this year. So I went back to Quick. The second spot I put Hornblower, a horse that had been running much higher most of his life. Then he dropped in for the 5 numbers of the year, made no mistake. Amadeo Perez sticks with him. Just the logical jump up into the 7,500 category. So I have him in second spot. And in third spot I have Kalukin Boss, a horse that will be closing late. He gets Fernando. Terry Clyde. Fernando and Terry Clyde were pretty hot last week, and they win a couple together. So, yeah, it's 7-5-2 for me, and a bit of a strange race. A lot of ways you can look at this one.
Well, just the pace scenarios. It's the only key. I mean, there's like Quick's probably the best horse in the race, but if they go 24, 48, and 2 or something, Quick's in trouble. Last time the race went slow the first quarter, 24, then things really sped up the second quarter, and the third quarter were both very quick, and that's when One Zone Accord lost the race. And Quick won the race because he just benefited and sat back, and Ryan gave the horse a perfect ride, and he looped them and for fun, but I just don't see that kind of pace. If it doesn't material, if One Zone Accord is ridden the same way, then Quick has a big shot. But I think they'll ride him a little more quietly, One Zone Accord, and I think Super Steve gets things a lot easier on the head end. And Kalukan Boss, he's always tough in the mud or in the slop, and he's dangerous. But I know I'm probably making a mistake leaving Quick right off the ticket, but I do like Super Steve a lot. I think he's going to run well. I love what I saw in the stretch last time, because this horse doesn't run great sprints, and he ran a good sprint.
He ran a really good sprint.
And the barn is just lights out. Frank's horses are just running through the bridle.
And he couldn't see the horse that beat him coming, right? He looked like he had the race won, and Charter Hickey flying on the outside, and he never saw him coming. If he sees him coming, maybe he digs in and wins that. So.
But a good race, though, nonetheless. It's a really good competitive race. A lot of ways to go, but I'm just banking on no pace in there, and that's why I like Super Steve.
Speaking of really good competitive races,
we got a whole bucket
move on to a optional 35 for older boys, and really good race here. This is one of the best races all weekend. A lot of ways to look at this. Full field of 10 horses. I went with number 9, Stormy Canuck, a horse who's cut out to be a nice horse. He's always been a solid horse, especially at this kind of level. He won the allowance race first out this year, beating Devil in Disguise, a 3-year-old, but a 3-year-old who came back and absolutely just romped in the stake here last weekend. Looks like a really nice horse, Devil in Disguise, and he beat him last time. So I do have Stormy Canuck on top. In the second spot, I have a tough luck horse, Dynastrol. This horse just can't seem to catch a break. He in the 25 he ran into trouble down the lane, kind of got boxed in. In the 50, he was making a big move. I thought it would have been a winning move, and he got pinched out on the turn, absolutely stood on his head on the turn. 3-wood comes flying by him and wins that day. So now, that was for 50, now he's in for 35. It sounds like probably more of a drop than it is. It was a race kind of similar to this, but I still think with a good trip, that puts him right in the mix of it. And in third spot, I have a horse that could well be a winner in here, Jump Up and Kiss Me. A horse that fits these conditions like a glove. A horse who's ran a bang-up, the first stake this year, he just ran a bang-up race, only got beat a length in the first stake. Came back, ran a little bit disappointing in the next stake, but now he drops in for optional 35, and he's got to be right in the thick of this.
Yeah, I had some trouble with it because there's some pretty cool horses in here, like Trick of the North. We have
In His Glory.
In His Glory, one of the top Derby horses last year. Brass Plate comes in from Phoenix, kind of a marathon champion.
Gamby, who ran great in a sprint, now he stretches out.
Yeah, no, it's a good little. I've gone to Stormy Canuck. That was an impressive race over Devil in Disguise. This horse did encounter a little bit of trouble. And still drew off and won quite convincingly in a very good 1:16-2. He's a little wind shy. He's had some opportunities in some allowance races and has not delivered, but usually it's because of he's gotten caught up in a pace or something, and I don't see a ton of pace in here. I think he's going to be awfully tough. He's probably likely going to maybe go gate to wire in here. In His Glory might go. Jump Up and Kiss Me might go. Dynastrol. There's not a lot of pace in here. No. I think Stormy Canuck holds all the. He's the now horse. I put Jump Up and Kiss Me in for second. I have no idea what to do with that horse, just because he's got some class and he's a cool horse and he runs good races all the time. He made a barn change, just some odd things, and I just don't know what to do with the horse.
There's definitely some question marks.
There's 6 weeks off now, going long. I don't know. I just, just a one little half-mile work on entry morning. So it's almost like it was an audible that was called late and put him in the race once it was going. So I'm a little concerned about that. I put Trick of the North in for third. Well, perhaps a tad high for him, but he's a cool horse. He runs good races. He likes this track. Wet track he can handle as well. He's nicely drawn. The old man has another youngster in the saddle in Chad Hoverson. So a couple old guys renewing acquaintances, and perhaps some good things could happen there. But Stormy Canuck, definitely the horse, I think.
He's coming off a mile, Trick of the North I speak of, coming off a 1.8 mile race at Golden Gate, And for 32, only got beat 6 lengths. This is for 35 up here, so that's probably a very comparable race.
Yeah, those are tough races.
I was going to say maybe even a little softer here. Yeah.
But no, he got going good in Turf Paradise, and we'll see if he can carry that form here back to Hastings. He's been back for a few weeks now. We'll see if he can threaten Stormy Canuck, but I do like Stormy Canuck to win it. 8th and final. We do have some maidens in here, $20,000 fillies and mares. I believe the 5 Hillingdon is out. Yeah, the 5 Hillingdon is entered back on Sunday, so Hillingdon will likely be out. So I don't want to say officially because I don't know for sure. But I like the 4-horse Reveling. Goes in blinkers today. Flashed some speed in a maiden optional claimer, a maiden 30 optional, so it takes a slight drop in class. Ran a little greenly in that one. That's to be expected. That's probably why the blinkers are on. So Fernando Perez stays, and I like this horse. I think he might be the speed of the party. I put the 7 Naughty Librarian in for second. Kind of flat as the 6-5 favorite in his return for 20,000. Was claimed that day, moves to the Marc Cloutier barn, and just have a work in 102 over a wet, fast track. But might get set up. That might be the off-the-pace horse if they hold him back, kind of like he did in his debut run. Because there is some speed in here. You got Reveling, the 4, the 6 Clarice B, the 11-horse Mazel's Secret with Pedro. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of a pace, and it might set up Naughty Librarian. And I put the 3 Golden Ears in for third. Good works. 4-year-old Quiet Cash debuter, and just some nice works for a good barn. So, but I do like Reveling on the class drop and a blinker change, and that might be enough to get him in the winner's circle.
I got kind of the same horses that you mentioned. I put Naughty Librarian on top. That was a monster racer, first out for maiden 20. That got left, all kinds of problems. We were all picking her all over her next start. She comes out, she just kind of ran flat. Yeah. Maybe, it was such a big effort her first race. Maybe, kind of bounced, took a bit out of her. She's had some time off since then. Mark's given her some time off, brings her back, right back again for maiden 20, and I think she's going to be really tough in here. The second spot, I did put in Reveling, I did have Hillingdon. But yeah, Hillingdon's going to be out because Hillingdon will run on Sunday for 10,000 on Sunday. So that's that one is out. So that moves Reveling up. I had Reveling in third. But this is a horse, just made the 1 start. Craig thought enough of her to have her in for maiden special weight. Like you say, made the lead, ran a pretty tough race and faded. First start, now comes back in for 20. So I'll have Reveling in second spot. And the third spot, I'm going to put in Golden Ears. One of the Robbie Anderson barn. Another trainer that's having a good meet. His horse has been going really good lately. Some nice works. Gets Marlowe. Take a flyer a little bit on a first-time starter, but I like Golden Ears in third. And I like the name.
Golden Ears.
Golden Ears.
Nice area.
Yes.
Pitt Meadows.
So it's 7-4-3 for me.
All right, that'll do it for our Saturday selections. Actually, we'll recap them. We'll recap them. We'll recap them first, and we'll head to the big race of the day.
Yeah.
But here comes a recap. Here come my picks for the Saturday, June the 9th program for Hastings. First race, I went to the 2, McGuire's Bridge. I went 2-4-5. In the second race, I went to the speedy number 3, the Grey Filly, Perfect Hostess, 3-1-4. In the third race, I went to the 2, Sufi Dancer, 2-5-7. Fourth race, I went to the 5, JJ's Traveler. Hopefully today's the day, 5-3-9. In the fifth race, I went to the 6, Blood and Diamond, 6-2-11. In the sixth race, I went to the 1, Super Steve, 1-2-3 for me. In the seventh race, I went to the 9, Stormy Canuck, 9-8-2. And in the 8th race, the 8th and final, I went to the 4, Reveling on the class drop, 4-7-3. It does say 5 on there, but now I'm going to change it to the 3. Because the 5 is scratched.
That's right. And on to mine. I went with, in the first, number 5, Valentine's Wish on top of the 2-4. The second race, I agree with Mike, the 3, Perfect Hostess over the 4 and 5. The third race, I went with the 1, Guns and Gold over the 5 and 2. In the fourth race, number 5, JJ's Traveler over the 3 and 10. In the fifth race, number 6, Blood and Diamond over the 11 and 10. In the sixth race, I went with number 7, Quick over the 5 and 2. The seventh race, again, I agree with Mike, number 9, Stormy Canuck over the 7 and 8. And in the 8th race, number 7, Naughty Librarian over the 5 and 4. Well, actually, I switched that. Now it's the 7 over the 4 and 3 because Hillingdon's out.
Number 5 has been scratched in the last race. But now on to the Belmont, the big race of the day.
The one everybody's waiting for.
New York, 11th race on the card. It goes about 3:40, and please do make your way to Hastings or the Derby Bar and Grill or any of your TBC locations.
Get there lots of time
of course,
to bet.
they do have the TBC promotion of the Breeders' Cup contest, so get those tickets in. You can win a chance to go to the Breeders' Cup if you pick the winner. And I'm going to go with the 11. I'll have another over the 3 Union Rags and the 9 Painter. Good race, Drew. I mean, I'll have another. Has
Great
to
race,
be.
yeah.
You know, you got to pick them, but. The ones I'm worried about are definitely the 3-horse Union Rags. Who's been freshened up a bit. I know the connections. Michael Matz were not impressed with Julian Leparoux's ride in the Derby or in the Florida Derby.
He did have a
Kentucky
ton of
or
trouble
the Florida.
in the Kentucky Derby.
Both of them, he's been in trouble. And so Johnny Velasquez will take over in the irons on Union Rags. That concerns me a bit. And the 9 Painter, anything out of the Bob Baffert barn, you got to respect. I know it might be a little soon to go a mile and a half for him. He doesn't have stakes caliber credentials, but he wasn't disgraced in the Santa Anita Derby and running against I'll Have Another and lacked seasoning then. So we'll see how he does. But those are the 2 I'm worried about with I'll Have Another is the 3 Union Rags and the 9 Painter.
And on to mine, I'll have enough. See, I get 3 Maros because this will be the 3rd time I picked him.
Yeah, I only got 2.
Kind of jumped on the boat a little late.
You got all 3 crowns.
All 3, yes. Well, I hope so. So I'll have another on top. I took Painter in the 2nd spot. I know Baffert's really high on this horse. He's bred, you know, impeccable breeding. I think he can get the distance. So he's a horse really coming into his own. Not like, you know, the big question is a mile and a half, but he's coming into his own.
In start 5 of his life. I mean, he's basically coming out of an onwards of 1 at Pimlico. But the time that day on Pimlico, it was on Preakness Day. It was amazing. Like his mile time was as fast as I'll Have Another.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you know, they're in 2 different races, but I mean, it's
on the same day, same track.
It still plots them in the mix.
You can draw some conclusions there. So yeah, I think he's a really nice horse. And in the 3rd spot, I have Doulahan, a horse that's going to be closing late. I think he might even be too far out of it. It's interesting when you watch the Belmonts. Everybody thinks, you know, a big deep closer going a mile and a half, but it's almost those horses that kind of, you know, can run 1 speed and plod along and keep going. And I think that he's going to leave himself too much work to do, but he'll be coming up to maybe pick up the pieces, get 3rd.
Yeah, no, I don't mind Doulahan at all for the Superfectas or something. I know
those kind of look like the 4 horses: Union Rags, I'll Have Another, Painter, and
yeah. I just trying to think of another one. I just don't really see another one that's kind of a stranger that might. Union Rags really is the one I'm worried about because I'll Have Another to win. I want to see a Triple Crown winner. I want to see Mario pull it off for Doug O'Neill and J. Paul Redham. But it's
you could absolutely throw out that Kentucky Derby if you're
I'm a little worried about Union Rags. That's the one I'm going to be keeping an eye on and hoping he's having an off day.
Yeah, or has another great trip like he had in the Derby.
Check.
But yeah, all eyes on Mario and all fingers crossed. And boy, knock on wood, say your prayers, do whatever you can to get Mario home.
Yeah, so it should be a great Saturday. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please do enjoy our 8-race program at Hastings as well as the Belmont Stake. Great card at Belmont too. 4 other graded stakes on the program. So big day today.
Mario's on 3 or 4 that day
yes,
too.
He is.
So keep an eye out for Mario all day at Belmont.
Yes, you got lots of rides on the undercard to kind of familiarize himself with the tricky Belmont course. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Please do join us for our Sunday selections, our Sunday, June the 10th selections, as well as don't forget, if you have a chance, click in on that Mario Gutierrez press conference that was held right here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Right in this very seat.
Yeah, right in these 2 seats, yes. And check out what Mario had to say about the Belmont when grilled by all of the Vancouver press. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it F and 10, he wins it by a half, according to this.